Hi, I'm Kevin with Action. Today I'm going to walk you through an unboxing of the Action Cube. You should have received two boxes. The smaller box is going to have your extraction kit. Inside here, you're going to have two different components. You're going to have your extraction kit and tips, as well as the flat wrench. And you'll know it's an extraction kit for two reasons. It says so here, and it'll also say extraction kit on the box here. Inside the main box is going to be the actual cube. Yours is going to look different, of course, because this one has already been opened, but either way, the contents will still be the same. So, first thing, we have the arm for your irrigation line. Then we have your foot pedal. Underneath that, we have a few different things. Of course, we have the cube. Here we have the black power line. This here is the round wrench. This is the safety wrench. I really prefer this wrench the most. This right here is the autoclavable stand. This is the little holder that you would put the handpiece in when you're not in use. Speaking of handpiece, that would be in this box here. So in here you're going to have the actual handpiece itself, as well as some clips. These clips hold the irrigation line onto the tubing for the handpiece. In the flat box here, you're going to find 5 disposable pre-sterile, these are your irrigation lines. So they come sterile and they are disposable. And then of course, we have the cube. So these are all the components from the box. Let's go ahead and set the cube up. First things first, we want to plug in the foot pedal. So that's going to plug in here. Simply screw it down. And then on the opposite side, we have the power plug. So we're going to plug this in like so. So that's everything on the back side. Power cable in right here. Okay. On the front side, we have one port here, and that is for the actual cube handpiece. You're going to notice there's a red dot here, and then there's a red dot on the handpiece. Those line up, and you simply just go ahead and line it up and push it in. This irrigation arm fits into this port on the very back here. It just slides in and sits like so. These clips here connect throughout the cable and are just meant to hold the irrigation line so that you're not tripping over it. It's all connected into one nice, easy to use tubing. Okay, and then this you can actually lock on to the edge of your table, or just leave it here and the handpiece sits in like this. The on-off switch is here. And now let's go ahead and show you what we do as far as the irrigation lines. Okay, so when you open up one of the irrigation lines, you're going to have the entire line, right? And then you're going to have this piece here. This is the actual motor portion of the line. You're going to notice there is 2 round sections. There is a wider and a more narrow. The wider section, so picture, I like to call it a top hat. So picture the top hat, the base is going to go against the actual cube, and that's going to slide in onto the side here like so. There's really only one way that it fits in, like so. And then obviously you're going to want to use a sterile water bag. I just happen to be reusing this for the presentation, but your perforator would slide in, your bag would hang here. The end of this tubing is going to slide into the handpiece like so. And then you can go ahead and clip the tubing down onto the handpiece throughout. And then right here, the very beginning of the tubing clips into the side of the cube. So once you have the irrigation line connected, the next thing you want to do is remove all the air from the line. By holding this button here will accomplish that. It will run the pump, and you'll notice that the water is flowing through, and it will eventually pop out like so. Okay? Now you've got all the air out of the irrigation line. We're pretty much good to go. Next thing we need to know is understanding the display. So on this side here, these are your irrigation controls. You can control how much water you want to use by the milliliter per minute by going up and down. If you're doing an extraction, 80 is about the right place to be. On this side here, this controls your power as well as communicates with bone density. So lower power all the way up to higher power, D1 being the highest, D4 being the lowest. You can also change that with this button on the pedal, and it'll cycle through in case you are in a procedure and you want to be hands-free. Now the next thing to know is how to install a tip. Okay, it's really simple. So I usually start it by hand like so, just kind of get it threaded in gently, okay, so that you're not cross-threading it. Then you have two options. You can use the flat wrench. There is a flat side of this. You're just going to sort of twist it on. Or you can use this wrench, and you'll notice there's sort of a keyhole in here. The way that this works is you're going to slide the tip into the large part of the keyhole and then spin it until you're in the center. From there, you can twist, and you'll notice the tip is not moving, the rubber is sliding, but the metal is moving. That is sort of a torque control, and we are fully engaged, fully installed right now. So this tip is good to go, and you'll notice it has a nice white bright LED light and a nice water stream. Okay, so we are good to go here. Your cube is officially set up, and you are officially ready to use it. Now, there are, if you did want to use a different line, so if you wanted to use something different than the disposable irrigation line, we do make an autoclavable version. So the autoclavable line looks just like the disposable line. The only difference is you're going to notice that there is no stop mechanism built in, such as this one has here. You're also going to notice there's no perforator. The perforators are not autoclavable. They're sold individually, and you simply remove them. They come sterile, and screw them in to the back. Undo it here, and you're ready to perforate your bag. The same thing would happen as far as this top hat would get installed here, and then the end would install into your handpiece. So this is an option that is available. This is the autoclavable line, and you can autoclave this up to 30 times. So this is a really nice feature. The perforators are still disposable on this line, but this is autoclavable. Out of the bag, out of the box, it does come with 5 of the disposable lines, and you can use either saline or sterile water, whichever you choose to do.